Well, I can't even lie. With the cancellation of Star Wars Battlefront 2, or what I mean by that is the cancellation of more content for Star Wars Battlefront 2, for some reason it got me feeling nostalgic. I thought about how far that game had come, and I'm amazed at the progress the developers have made on it and the way the community has been so invested in Battlefront 2. It's incredible to see all the support that it's received through the years. I can't believe it was able to revive itself. I mean, this at this point is a game that I'm going to be telling my kids about, all the great memories I have with it, and my friends playing on it and everything, and it's just the greatest comeback story of all time, and, everybody's talking about that, but it also got me thinking about how far we've come from the beginning of EA's Battlefront series back in 2015 with the quote-unquote original EA Star Wars Battlefront. And, well, I went back and played it. So this is Star Wars Battlefront 2015 in the year 2020. 5 years later, I can't believe I'm already saying that. I remember picking this game up in November. Actually, it was a little after November. I got it around Christmas, and putting it into my TV in the living room and playing it non-stop all over Christmas break. I remember my mom was incredibly pissed at me because I wouldn't get off of it, but it was the best Star Wars things we could get our hands on during that time. Of course, not including The Force Awakens and everything, which actually was a really good movie. I did enjoy The Force Awakens, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going on a tangent. I went back and played Battlefront 2015, and I actually have a lot to say. First of all, I didn't realize how much I missed this game. There's something about it that just feels right. It feels smoother than Battlefront 2, if that makes sense, like the movement of the troopers and everything. There's something about the lasers in this game too. They feel... is fatter the right word? I don't know, they just feel more refined and they look better. That being said, there are some problems with the game still around, but before I get into that, I want to talk about the positives first. First of all, like I said, the movement, I think that feels a lot better than Star Wars Battlefront 2's movement. Battlefront 2's movement has always felt a little clunky and out of place to me. It didn't really feel like a Star Wars game. Also, like I said, with the whole lasers and everything, I don't know what it is about the way they're textured or the way they glow or whatever, but again, they feel a lot better when you fire them in the 2015's version of Battlefront than in the 2017's version of Battlefront. And I really can't put my finger on it, but it's there. Another thing that I really liked about going back and playing the game was the star card system. I don't miss that star card system, I want to make it clear, but I thought it was really fun to throw on the explosive shot and the back to bomb and the jetpack and go ham flying everywhere with basically infinite health and an incredibly powerful weapon. There was just something about it that brought back a lot of memories for me, and it was a great time. Another thing I really liked was getting to play on Hoth again. I think 2015's version of Battlefront nailed its Hoth map. 2017, yeah, it had the cool lighting and everything, and the evening time and whatnot, and it looked really pretty, but that map doesn't really do it for me. I really do enjoy 2015's version of Hoth a lot better, especially the opening phase when the Imperials are starting their advance on the base. I love the open snowfield combat that we get. Something about that just is really fun for me. I also really liked getting to play multiplayer on Sullust again. I really don't understand why they couldn't have included Sullust in Battlefront 2. I would have been completely fine if they just ported over the original map from 2015, but it was really nice to get to play on that planet again, and if there is a Battlefront 3, I really hope we get to see it. Unfortunately, there doesn't look to be any hope for Battlefront 3 in the next 2 to 3 years, which is really unfortunate. I know there's some Jedi Fallen Order games coming out, as well as the unannounced Project Maverick that was leaked, so I am excited for those, but let's be honest, they're not Battlefront. I love Jedi Fallen Order, but I would pick a Battlefront game over 3 Jedi Fallen Order games any day of the week and twice on Sunday. That's just my personal opinion, but that is where I stand on the matter. Another thing I loved about going back to 2015's Battlefront was all the Imperial skins that we have. I loved getting to play as the Imperial Shock Trooper and Shadow Trooper and Death Star Trooper and Officer. There were a lot of customization options for the Stormtroopers in that game, and again, I don't understand why they're not in Battlefront 2, and I don't know why they weren't in the game at launch. Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. Like, honestly, there's a lot of things. I know Battlefront 2 has 100 times the amount of content that Battlefront 2015 had, but there are some things that were in 2015's game that still aren't in 2017, and that really confuses me for some reason. Because we've had all these massive content updates, and I don't understand why they wouldn't start with things that were in the original game first and just port them over and then get started on other content. You know, adding skins doesn't even seem like it would be that big of a deal to do. And now again, I'm not a developer, I'm not actually working on these things, I'm not an artist, I'm not an animator, so obviously I have no say in the matter, I can't speak. Maybe it is incredibly difficult, but compared to adding in maps and, you know, new heroes and stuff, skins wouldn't seem to be like that big of an issue, so it kind of confuses me. And it was a really cool experience because when I played the game, you know, there wasn't too many people online, but there was enough to keep 1 to, I want to say, like 5 different Walker Assault lobbies going, and it was really nice because I would end up playing with a lot of the same people game after game after game after game, and we really kind of bonded over that, and I felt in that game we were working as a team more. I haven't experienced teamwork like that in 2017's Battlefront ever. So it was weird to kind of go from playing a, I guess, almost solo type of playstyle to actually working with a team to get objectives done, to hold down the uplinks to make sure we got our Y-wings to call in for the strike and everything, and it was great, and I forgot that feeling. I played as a team. I know Battlefront 2's squad system is a lot better, but for whatever reason, Battlefront 2015, I tended to want to play as a team more. It felt more team-oriented, and again, I don't know why. This might just be me, but maybe some of you out there feel this as well. And if you don't, you can go ahead and tear them into me in the comments. It's alright, I understand. I also really enjoyed getting in Starfighters and playing with those. I really liked the Starfighter mechanics for 2015. It feels smooth, a lot smoother than Battlefront 2. I still like Battlefront 2's flying maybe a little bit. No, it's not the flying that I like better. I think it's just the maps and the amount of different ships you can have with all the different eras and stuff. That's probably what's going in the favor for Battlefront 2017, but 2015's Battlefront, I love the way flying feels. It's so smooth, it's really fun, and I absolutely love to play in first person in that game too when I'm flying, which is something that I really don't like to do in any game that includes flying. I always like to play in third person. I feel like I can play better, but playing in first person is very immersive, and it was a great time. Now, with all that being said, there's still a lot of negative aspects of this game. One, I feel like when I would shoot at my enemies, a lot of my shots wouldn't register for some reason. It felt like the time to kill was a lot longer, and honestly, I didn't like that. I will say I missed the ability to just pick a weapon and throw it on whatever class I was using. I do miss that kind of weapon system, but a lot of the weapons still felt unfinished. There was a lot of issues, couple bugs that I found. It was kind of all over the place. I also didn't enjoy searching through the entire map for half a game looking for a hero pickup. I do not miss the hero pickups at all. I'm incredibly glad those are gone and we have the battle point system that we have now. I really hated the fact that I could be the top player on the team, and even if I was 50 kills, I'm obviously over exaggerating a little bit here, even if I was 50 kills over the guy who was in second place, he still might end up with that hero pickup if he knows where it is, or if he comes across it before I do, which a lot of people at this point have memorized the spawns of where they are, which is insane to think about, but they have done it. And it was just really annoying to see somebody in last place walking around with Darth Vader and getting killed immediately when I'm at the top of the leaderboard with 30 kills, knowing that if I had picked that up, team would probably be doing a lot better right now, and we'd be pushing up to the next objective. That was incredibly annoying. Now, obviously, I think people have bashed on this game enough, so I'm just gonna end this with the one big negative, and then we'll kind of wrap up the video here. The lack of content. I really didn't miss the lack of content that was in 2015's Battlefront. I got on the game and I was having a great time and all that, but after 5 to 7 matches, again, there's only four planets. There's only 4 planets in the main game. Obviously, I didn't even bother downloading any of the DLC, that being the Outer Rim, Bespin, Death Star, and Scarif, because I knew none of the lobbies would fill up, so I didn't even bother playing with those. So there were only 4 main maps, and that was really annoying, and it got boring really quickly. No matter how much I like those maps, if I play them over and over again, at some point I'm gonna get sick of them. Obviously, there was no Clone Wars and no sequel trilogy. I don't really like the sequel trilogy all that much, but nevertheless, there was still no Clone Wars, no option to play as a Separatist, or the Republic, or the Resistance, or the First Order. There was so much content missing from the game that really should have been there. I mean, overall, I really do still think that 2015's Battlefront is a good game. I definitely recommend you guys go back and pick up this game for a day, maybe 2 days, and just have some fun playing around on it and reliving old memories. That was the best part of this whole experience, was the nostalgia. It took me back to where my life was in 2015, and to be honest, I kind of miss the way things were. It was a simpler time, and it was a lot of fun when this game first came out. We had a lot of hope for this game's future, and we had a lot of hope for Star Wars Battlefront 2. We had The Force Awakens, we had The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. You know, we had a whole trilogy of movies ahead of us, as well as Rogue One and the Solo film, which, yeah, I know nobody really likes that film, but we didn't even know it at the time, but it was in our future, and it's weird to think back to a time when none of these things existed, and to see how far the Star Wars community has come, how big it's grown, and the impact that Battlefront 2 has had, not just on the Star Wars community, but on the gaming community in general. It's incredible, and I'm so happy we're here. And even though things with Battlefront are winding down, we're going to be taking a break from the movies every year for a couple of years, Star Wars is kind of getting a little quiet right now. You know, we just had the Season 7 finale of Clone Wars, which was absolutely insane. We have Season 2 of The Mandalorian to look forward to. We have a couple new TV shows and movies coming a little further down the line. There's hope for the future, and again, even though things are getting quiet right now, I couldn't be more excited. And a lot of people, when I told them I was starting this YouTube channel, starting a Star Wars YouTube channel, they told me it was a terrible idea, considering the fact that things are so quiet right now. But I couldn't be leaning more in the complete opposite direction as far as my thinking is concerned. I can't wait to see where Star Wars goes over the next few years. But anyways, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions of 2015's Battlefront. I know there's a ton of stuff that I missed, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on some things in the comments and all that, and tell me what you guys still think of the game, and tell me what you think of how far we've gone. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about that, and I'm interested to hear about what you think about the future. But again, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing down below. You guys have been awesome with the support lately. I really do appreciate it on both the reaction videos. I really enjoyed doing them, and I hope to do more. Also, consider liking the video. It would be greatly appreciated, and that is what helps me out the most. And if you want to be able to have deeper conversations about Star Wars or whatever, or you just want to get to talk to me more, make sure you click the bell notification so you can be updated as soon as I release a video, and you can be one of the first people to comment. But again, for the 3rd time, I tend to say this like 100 times in my videos. I have to work on my outro. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a great day.